the actions of oppressions that one might commit today against the people, his honors, or against the people's wealth, or against the people's blood, oppressing them, backbiting them, slandering them, giving a false testimony. All these will be pieces of darkness on the day of resurrection. And a servant will be compensating those acts of oppressions in the form of hasanat, or receiving those whom he oppressed, receiving their sins, wal-'iyadu billah. For the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, in a hadith narrated by Abi Bakr radiallahu anhu, indeed your blood, your wealth, your honor are indeed sacred upon you, like the sacredness of this day of yours, in this land of yours, in this month of yours. And indeed you will meet your Lord and he will ask you about your deeds. So do not return after me, disbelievers, chopping the necks of one another, meaning killing one another. And the hadith is authenticated by Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Servants of Allah, as a matter of fact, every one of us will be questioned about the responsibility that Allah has set under them. Every responsibility that Allah has given you, made you in charge of, you'll be asked about it on the day of resurrection. General responsibility or specific one. For he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, in a hadith narrated by Abdullah ibn Umar, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, who said that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, indeed, all of you are guardians, responsible, and each one of you will be asked about his responsibility, his subjects. The ruler is a guardian, he's responsible, and so will be asked about his people. The man is responsible over his family, and thus will be asked about his responsibility. The woman is responsible, guardian, and her husband is house, and thus she will be asked about her responsibility. The servant is responsible for the wealth of his master, his chief, and thus he will be asked about that responsibility. Indeed, all of you are responsible, guardians, and all are responsible for their subjects. We'll be asked about every ni'mah that Allah has given us, every bani, every blessing that Allah has given us. For indeed, the home that Allah has granted you, the comfortable ride that Allah has given you, the food and the drinks that you have, the clothes that Allah has blessed you with, all of that you'll be asked about on the day of resurrection. Your well-being, your health, your family, the children, all that you'll be asked about on the day of resurrection. How did you raise your children? Did you learn the deen to raise them upon the deen? Or did you fail that as well? It was narrated by Zubayr ibn al-Awwam radiallahu anhu, who said when the statement of Allah the Exalted was revealed, saying, then you will surely be asked about that day. You will be surely asked on that day, meaning on the day of resurrection, about these blessings, meaning ni'am. As Zubayr ibn al-Awwam said, I said, O Messenger of Allah, what is it? What blessings will we be asked about? Even al-aswadan, meaning even dates and water. If this is all we have, we will be asked about that as well. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, indeed it will be, meaning questions will be asked. Even if all the servant had in this dunya was as little as dates, as little as water, this is the na'im he had in that dunya, he will be asked about it by Allah the Exalted. Therefore, servants of Allah, prepare an answer for these questions. For the servant knows that even if the blessings in his eyes, even though they are great, but even if the blessings are little in his eyes, he will be asked about them. Imagine those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them a house, a comfortable ride, clothes, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them food and drinks, and Allah has given them health and wealth, and Allah has given them spouses and children, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them senses, and Allah has given them authority. All these na'im you'll be asked about. You'll be asked about your senses, your tongue. You'll be asked about your hearing, your seeing. You'll be asked about your health, your life, your wealth, how you gained it, where you spent it. You will be asked about your family, your children. And then the food, the water, the clothing. Every ni'mah that Allah has given you. The son of Adam will be asked about. Therefore, when the son of Adam knows that he will be brought to stand before his Lord, and thus he knows he will be asked, prepare a correct answer for these standing.